Testing, testing. How am I looking here? Audio and visual check. Going through the scenes here. There's my camera here. Ooh, go. Go. That sudden music stop though. Alright, think we are for the most part good to go. Well, go on, gentle people. Sanjae Uchiha here. Welcome to the end of month subscriber stream for September 2024. How am I sounding? Hopefully I... There's one thing I need to start up over here. Let's make sure... Alright, Patrick, Sheehan, alright, respect. Bio, welcome to the stream. Just kind of sucks that, you know, the end of the month is on the 30th. Well, I mean on a Monday. But, I know you guys could probably say, I could have done the stream like maybe yesterday or so, but, you know, it's whatever. But yeah, man, welcome everyone. Welcome to the stream. Jano, like... As per usual, man, I know where the time is going like crazy. Of course, like unlike the last 2 to 3 end of month subscriber streams, if you guys want, you can jump in here on Discord, as you can see, anytime you want. Cause I mean, 25 years of Naruto, honestly, and I mean, I did do my video, as most of you guys would have seen a few days ago. I think it was on my birthday. It's like basically last weekend, essentially. So. It's crazy. It's still funny to me that the first chapter of Naruto dropped on my birthday. That's crazy. So, but yeah, 25 years later, I know. Funny enough, I was actually talking to a friend of mine in the sense that it's kind of just telling you I find it interesting when it comes on to like. These franchises celebrating like the anime anniversaries versus the entire franchise or manga anniversary separate. You think they just, celebrate everything one time? Because right now, I'm not gonna lie, based on what came out for the 25th anniversary of Naruto, the whole franchise, or the manga if you want to be very specific, versus the anime is eating good. I mean, we had the Road to Naruto, special, 10-minute video versus what we got for the, the 25th anniversary for the manga, essentially, or the entire franchise, essentially. So, but I guess it is what it is. Ah, boy. But, yeah, 25 years, it's crazy, right? I mean, from, September 21st, 1999 to now, and, whether it be anime adaptations, Naruto Shippuden, Boruto, of course, eventually get 2 Blue Vortex, or just, the Boruto manga, 2 Blue Vortex as well. We've had 1,000,001 games. We've had, what? 11 movies? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it should be 11 movies, because I think the Boruto movie is the 11th Naruto movie. So, yeah. I mean, games, merchandise, the whole works. As per usual when it comes down to these big franchises, man. But it, of course, above everything else, I think it just makes me feel pretty old. Honestly. Very old. Let me change this to the G track over here. Okay. Device headphones. Okay, cool. That's Gucci. Quit this. Alright. Turn on back. This here, so. Okay. But anyway, how's everyone doing? I mean, hopefully the music isn't too loud. Well, I guess, you know, it's my audio, alright, so no pressure. At one point, I was kind of considering just you know, running some Storm 4 and just, you know, chilling and talking with you guys, but it's a 10. Just chilling. I'm just gonna chill and talk, really, for the most part. You should sub, so we're going up. Alright, Patrick, looking good, sounding good. 100 subs before the end of the year. Guys, definitely, you know, for those of you who are joining us now, and of course those of you who will be, you know, joining us later, definitely link up my bridging Kamar the Creator. 82 subs is on his way to 100 subs, so, you know, definitely. I know he does One Piece content, in terms of One Piece gaming content and other, you know, gaming content there. So if it's your cup of, you know, tea, then definitely check him out. Give him some support over there. Alright. Drop on the YouTubes over here, so. Let's see if there's any. I mean, we've already did the whole video on the Naruto 25th anniversary. But yeah, the question really comes down to, like, you know, like, what's next in the grand scheme of things when it comes on to, like, the Naruto franchise, right? Because it kind of feels like right now we're at a point where, hold on, just turn this light a bit right there. Yeah, it kind of feels like we're kind of at that point where, like, you know, things kind of feel sluggish right now. I mean, 2 Blue Vortex is going good manga-wise. There's no anime going on right now. And as we all know, that we're kind of overdue to get the, you know, the OG Naruto episodes, the 4 episodes that they've been working on since, you know, since Jesus was a kid. And then obviously the Boruto anime is supposed to return at some point. Obviously no confirmed times, but, you know, like, I've been doing a bit of thinking based on the recent interview that, you know, Masashi Kishimoto and Ikimoto did, and it's kind of has me, I wouldn't say worried, but I'm very curious in terms of how, like, the future of the franchise is going to go. Now, because it kind of gives me that Akira Toriyama Dragon Ball Super vibe, where it kind of seems like as we go on, Kishimoto is going to be more and more hands-off, similar to Toriyama, and the powers that be, I guess every other stakeholder in the matter is going to be like milking things where Naruto's concerned. Now, it probably might not be as bad as the whole, you know, Dragon Ball Super situation in terms of modern Dragon Ball, in terms of the writing quality, because it does seem like Kishimoto is more hands-on than how, you know, Dragon Ball's modern take has been handled, I would say. So I would say, I'd arguably say, like, the modern Naruto, quote-unquote Boruto, does a better job of continuing things than, say, modern Dragon Ball, based on how hands-off Toriyama is or was compared to Kishimoto. So, but I just kind of feel like as time goes on, Kishimoto is going to want to move on to, like, fully move on to other things and probably, you know, leave the franchise in, you know, the anime studio's hands, yada yada hands. They'll probably still, you know, contact him for, like, reference and help and some small things here. But it kind of feels like as time goes on, yeah, that's the fate that we're going to get. And the thing is, with how, I guess, profitable Naruto is as a franchise, I don't see them stopping it anytime soon. And it's not like going to be a case like with Dragon Ball, where, you know, from 1984 to 1997, that was like the big run from the start of the manga to the end of the Dragon Ball GT anime. And then, you know, we got it here in the West, but in Japan, it's kind of had that space of time before they had the whole Dragon Ball resurgence. Thinking back on it, like after Naruto ended in 2014, the anime still went on for like what, 3 years, and then we went straight into the Boruto anime like a week after, and of course the Boruto manga. We'd have got the Boruto movie in 2015, and we'd have gotten the Boruto manga in 2016. So the whole franchise hasn't had much of a break in the grand scheme of things, you know. So it kind of has me really wondering, or kind of, I guess, for lack of a better term, worried about the future of the franchise for the next potential 25 years. And I mean, it sounds crazy to say like another 25 years of Naruto. It's definitely possible. I mean, even though Dragon Ball had its break, but I mean, this year is Dragon Ball's 40th anniversary. So when it comes on to these big franchises, definitely they have the longevity to, you know, last that long. So I don't know how you guys feel about all of that, potentially speaking. Oh, you know, as I see this, I gotta ask you guys what you think about it, because I was very surprised when I saw that they were porting Ultimate Ninja Storm for mobile. That's actually crazy to me. I did, you know, take in like a review of it while on the Sunday or so. Just make sure to say. Oh, well, right. It ain't free. It ain't free, but it's not expensive either. Alright, because if we go into the App Store, right? Well, how much is it for Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm mobile? Really and truly. I'm sure it's not gonna cost an arm and a leg. I don't plan to get it, but I'm just curious. Who knows? Maybe when I do end up changing phones or so, I'll get it for the fun of it. Maybe $14.99. That's not bad, bro. I mean, who knows? Like for you, Patrick, you could have probably just, you know, get it for the content. You know, for the content. Why not? I mean, if I even run it for like, I don't know, 2-3 months. I don't even know if it has like multiplayer. Probably not. But even for 2-3 months, you know, boost up the channel a bit. Yo! Oh my god. Stop going, someone. Just get the game, dog. Content. I mean, $15. I would imagine it was like, how much did Storm 1 sell for when it just dropped? Was it 60? That is the better question. Alright, let's just take in this a bit there. I'm gonna drop it to 720.
Right now I'm just a kid, but I'll be Hokage myself one day. Alright, let's run wild.
It just seems so random, to be honest, man, not alive, for them to really drop Storm 1 on mobile right now. It's crazy to think about, because like, you know, back in, this is what, 2007? The original Storm?
Nice try.
And we see it running on mobile now. Well, who knows, maybe I shouldn't be too surprised, because it's like so many big games they can probably, well, definitely emulate now. So it's crazy. In 15, well, in 10 years you'll be playing Sparking Zero on your phone. That's how crazy it's going to be. True. I don't know if we could find anything in regards to like how the seals that stay. Cause I just since hold on. Well, 6 days ago. Hold on. Doop. Naruto. Let's see. One second. Yeah, let's see. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. Yeah, definitely coming along with you, Sheen, because as I said, it's crazy. And some of the things that maybe like in the next 10 years you'll probably run Sparking Zero on your phone. It's crazy to think about. It just goes to show in terms of how, you know, far technology has really come, still has potential to go. Okay, so Storm 1 came out in 2008, which is crazy. 2008. Ah, man. Started watching Bleach in 2008. Well, yeah, maybe 5, because the rate at which technology is going, like 5 years probably more sounds more like it's for real. But then again, as I said, I don't know how many persons are gonna even get this on mobile, because I mean, yeah, maybe if like you never really played Storm 1, I imagine some persons, or maybe let me see if I can find Naruto. Wow. Of course, the person's doing content and stuff already, tutorials. Yeah, that's just what I said, Patrick. You could have probably just run it for, if it's even like for a month or two, and you know, just to kind of give the channel that kind of boost, and then you know, you never know. But that's just my 2 cents. My 2 cents. Bombards. Back when Kurama was the baddest thing since sliced bread. You know, funny enough, personally, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't start playing Storm games until I think Generations might have been the first one I played. I don't remember if I might have tried Storm 2 like at the games room, like for like versus match, but I don't remember playing Storm 1, to be honest. Somebody donate $15. Smart man. That's why the next time I get paid, dog. It's not the foolishness.
Naruto! Ultimate Ninja Storm!
But not like probably playing it on the phone might give you like right now might give you like some PSP vibes, like you know playing Ultimate Ninja on PSP, which there was a decent one I used to play back in like 2010 2011. I think it was Ultimate Ninja's Impact. Yeah, true. Who knows? I know some persons were probably saying that, yo, this might be like a incentive to say, oh, make developers start port stuff on phones, but I don't know if we're quite there yet, like full scale, like oh, put it on phones. But probably possible because boy, phones coming with some ridiculous specs right now, like 16 gigabyte of RAM, man. That's crazy, dog. So, why, I don't know. We'll see how it goes for the most part. I don't want to seem like going on much or so. Let's skip. I mean, it looks really good. Yeah, true. Who knows? Let's see how the gaming scenes stay like within the next 3 to 5 years, as they are predicting, and then I guess we can take it from there. So I guess he's just going around the map. Yeah, I guess he's just doing the basic stuff. Well, it is what it is there, yeah, man. As I said, I don't think I really plan to get it, doubt it. But I guess it would be cool for persons who are really into mobile gaming, probably want a boost on the channel, and it's just overall cool for having like a Ultimate Ninja Storm on the go. Even though I guess some person might still have like their PSPs and stuff for them, you know, them modern, you know, can download ISOs and all that jazz and blues. So yeah. But I'll probably look out for how well it does in terms of sales. That should be interesting to actually, you know, figure out. But anyway, outside of that, no. Let me jump on, see if there's anything of relevance on the official Naruto website, which I usually have like issues with, in the sense that I don't know, but I feel like the persons them on like Twitter and like Reddit and stuff post much more compared to the official Naruto website. I mean, yeah. Yo, speaking of that, Storm Connections, that latest DLC. I didn't get Storm Connections, still don't plan to, but this whole Boruto Uzumaki Karma progression, Karma Stage 2, but nah, him look clean, look sick. And then, hold on, I'm gonna bring it up. And then the Indra, Madara, and Sasuke Team Ultimate. Ridiculous as per usual. Let's bring up this. Let's pull up.
I'm afraid I'm not the pushover that Boruto is. Now I'll see what this body is capable of. There is only destruction in your future. You're exposed.
But no, like, the man look clean. Real clean. Have the resin done. Our spirit gun, basically.
Now you'll see it with your own eyes.
But now, like, if there's one thing I did wish, but wish for when it comes on to like the combat in the actual series or even manga, like if and this sounds stupid, but if Kishimoto could have make like Cyber Connect them come in to say, yo, but we choreograph the fight scene for that, because to me the game kind of just take things so over the top. Where man say, yo, I don't like just for joking sake, I don't see him Sasuke this is on the show clearly. Yo. It's just a creativity for me. Cause I mean, alright, this is triple ultimate, right? Triple perfect Susanoo. Shubaku Tensei. Madara bring down the meteor upon top of it. Indra strike it with like lightning. And then Sasuke come again with Kirin quoted in amateur. Like, you don't see those things in the actual show, dog, in terms of that level of ridiculous creativity. It's just so over the top ridiculous, like, man, I said, no, dog. But it's funny because when it comes on to Storm connections, I was predicting when the game drops, say, yo, they're gonna use this as a platform for DLC. And based on what under, I mean, they have Hagoromo, Ishiki, Kurenai, Kawaki, and Boruto. I don't know if they're gonna have like a next season, but if they do, that kind of like fully confirms that, yo, okay, yeah, then really I use this as DLC. Speaking of which, when it comes on to like the future of the franchise, to like, what kind of Naruto game would you guys want next? Like, what kind of style? Like, I never got into Shinobi Striker, it never really appealed to me, but what next? Because some persons would yeah, but I don't know, because I would imagine it wasn't Kurenai like in Storm 1 or something. I don't know. Anyway, but that is a good question, Patrick, because you can imagine like, mom's alright, we get Hagoromo and then Ishiki, and then it's like Kurenai. It's like such a big fall off. But the people them want what they want, I suppose. Are they gonna give anything them feel you want? But yeah, like, man, I wonder like the next like major Naruto game, because Storm Connections, you know, yeah, they made some improvements. For me, it's just a platform for DLC, really and truly. But other than that, I don't know. Like, a lot of persons I think are kind of tired of it. They love Storm, but I think they're kind of tired of the whole Storm format. A 2D fighter like Dragon Ball Fighters would be good. Not gonna lie, because right now, yeah, between Storm Connections, it's like the main thing. So yeah, 2D fighter would be actually good when it comes on to like a future Naruto / Boruto game. That would be cool. I'd be down for that. Something like Dragon Ball Fighters, because right now, of course, again, no anime going on right now, and probably, you know, something for 2026, 2027 would be nice, because again, it just feels like the franchise, a turn-based hyper animated game. I mean, why not both? Like a RPG, that could be interesting too. Probably something to play from start of Naruto into Boruto. That could be cool too. Cause I mean, I think the 2D fighter would be nice, or 2.5D. Yeah. I think there's more than enough. Well, obviously more than enough characters to accommodate it. Kind of like the Tenkaichi for Naruto, essentially. Even though I guess some persons might consider the Storm series against probably like that, or even something in the Tenkaichi style. But I wonder how you would actually Alright, I guess we didn't really consider like Storm like kind of the same style as Tenkaichi. Would you? But anyway, the point is a 2D fighter like Dragon Ball Fighters for Naruto, I think would be a good look. Of course, first, this is just my personal take. I definitely think they're waiting when it comes on to like Shueisha and them probably contracting like a game studio like I guess Bandai or CC2 or whatever to actually, you know, do a game. I think they're kind of waiting until the anime starts back, because you know how these things kind of go. You have the anime, they probably want the game to drop, kind of promote the, you know, cross promote the anime and manga. So I think we won't really see another like major Naruto game until maybe 2026, 2027. That's my personal take. If we do get like an announcement, we might I'm predicting something like at the middle or end of next year, if they announce, oh, this is in development, you know. So at least once the anime or manga, well, the anime probably close to start back or scheduled to start, but say, oh, it's gonna drop on this date. So that's my take when it comes on to like a future Naruto game, 2D, 2026, 2027. Which I mean, at the rate at which time is going isn't really that far away in the grand scheme of things. So there's that. When it comes on to the main story now, in terms of the two Blue Vortex manga, and in relation to the anime, like, I think right now we have a really good setup when it comes on to the fact that the anime is not going on, even though it would be, yeah, I think good. It's just good because we have time for the manga to build up, and I'm really hoping with everything that's going on with Studio Pero or Periat, however it's pronounced, like with Bleach, the 1000-Year Blood War Core 3 coming out next week, or not next week, this weekend. So probably after the work on all the Bleach cores are done, and you know, probably can get back into, you know, Boruto there. And hopefully, if they learn anything from doing Bleach, I hope somebody on the management team where Studio Pero is concerned is like, okay, we can do this in course without losing the hype, you know, losing the support. Another thing would be an anime 2D crossover instead of what happened on Jump Force. Okay. Jump Force never really, I mean, initially it kind of caught my interest, but then it's like, eh. But yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea either. A 2D crossover. Kind of like, if I'm interpreting what you said right, Sheen, kind of like a Marvel versus Capcom or something like that. Yeah, that would be interesting. But yeah, as I'm saying, no, yeah, I'm hoping somebody in the management team can say like, yo, like, fam, we're not gonna do this weekly anymore. The whole weekly format just it's not cutting it. We don't necessarily need to. And like the weird thing set up with the manga versus the anime right now, like, yeah, you can add an addition. You can have some creative liberties with the anime, even if you're doing it seasonally or, you know, by course or whatever the case may be, and expand on episodes, kind of like how they were doing when they were adapting, you know, a lot of the manga chapters to the Boruto anime. They did have like some extended scenes, so, you know, they can still add in like maybe even 1 or 2 original episodes. But, you know, the weekly format, I don't think it should be like a thing when it comes on to the Boruto / Naruto going forward anymore. I think coming back, especially since we have about 12 chapters to adapt for the anime, and if they're doing anything else before jumping into 2 Blue Vortex, I mean, if we're doing 1 for 1, each chapter could be an episode, so that could literally be like basically a season, granted. And if they're doing like any extensions, adding some additional material to flesh out those chapters, can easily stretch that to maybe like 16 episodes. So yeah, I don't see why not. Give it like a 6-month break, 6 months to a year, then you can start doing 2 Blue Vortex. And all things considered, if the anime is gonna start back like anytime, I would predict after Bleach is done, so I don't see the anime coming back until like 2020, like late 2026, maybe 2027. So that kind of gives the 2 Blue Vortex manga more than enough time to like build up, because we're going into what, chapter 15? Let me just confirm that's the case. Yeah, we're going into chapter 15, so sorry, September. We're going to October, 16, 17. So we end this year in chapter 17. So by next year it's 29, and then by the following year it's like 40 something. So yeah, and if they approach it in a core by core, like a season by season basis, then I don't see why not. I can see like Boruto actually like trending and not being shit on Twitter because the end of the current like part 1 Boruto anime, like it wasn't so hot, honestly. So that's my 2 cents when it comes on to that. You can definitely learn a thing or two from the current Bleach 1000-Year Blood War anime. So there's that. But on the topic of that, I'm kind of wondering like what place in kind of just discussing the little nuances of the in-story happenings, like Naruto and Sasuke returning to the story. It would be interesting if we could have them back in the story for, I don't know, maybe, just maybe 2026. Because I mean, if you're continuing the future of the franchise, based on how the dynamic was or is between Ikimoto and Kishimoto, and then making changes to Kishimoto's original Boruto story, maybe some characters will die soon enough, but I don't see Naruto dying. Maybe Sasuke, but I do see them coming back to the story at some point, and I'm kind of curious in terms of what the future holds in terms of their participation going forward, because yeah, a number of characters are stronger than them now, but I mean, they can still compete here and there. But it should be interesting because I know some persons kind of looked at it like, oh, Naruto and Sasuke were too strong in the story, so we had to like take them out of the story. But now we have a bunch of characters that are stronger than Naruto and Sasuke. So if we're going at it from that perspective, then I don't see why you can't just bring them back. I don't know, it does kind of keep a level of tension. You know, Naruto and Sasuke are out of the story, and this is, you know, Boruto's story. But I think you can bring them back and balance things between having Boruto having the spotlight, the main character, and you know, those characters play support. So that should be interesting. But it also depends on if there's any narrative arcs like Naruto and Sasuke still have, like, you know, what can you write for them at that point, right? I mean, of course, a number of persons when it comes down to Sasuke could jump to the superficial thing of, oh, yeah, Sasuke still has his eye to give to Sarada so she can get the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, etc, etc. Naruto can come back and, you know, his, I mean, I guess in terms of the things he achieved by the end of the Fourth Great Ninja War and as his over the last like 15-16 years in universe, and as his time as, you know, Hokage, we can probably see his conviction probably waver or being tested, right? Some kind of, you know, plot threads surrounding those story beats. Of course, you know, of course, I'm sure Kishimoto and Ikimoto could, you know, come up with something more in depth than the superficial, you know, gibberish I'm kind of spewing right now, but you know, something along those lines. I just think it makes sense for those characters to, you know, still have like some more or even one last hoorah before, you know, we fully put them down. And I just don't think the franchise is at the point where you can say, oh, let's get rid of them, you know. So that's the thing. That is the thing. Because I mean, even if we go back to the interview with Ikimoto and Kishimoto, I mean, like Ikimoto was saying, yeah, originally like a very important character was supposed to die, and personally I think that probably should have been Sasuke, and it's just true they changed the draft. That it isn't confirmed it's Sasuke, but that's just my 2 cents, what I personally think. But of course they did change, you know, the original story beats, and Sasuke is still alive. Of course he's a tree, but still alive. So there's that. So yeah. So future wise, I definitely can see Naruto and Sasuke coming back. The Boruto manga, you know, 2 Blue Vortex continuing on until, you know, maybe, who knows, maybe 2030. Because I really don't know if the original plan for to have, you know, the whole Boruto story end within a certain amount of time, I don't think that's a thing anymore, personally. And given the changes that, you know, Ikimoto has made, I'm pretty sure that, you know, extensions would have had to have been made to the story to facilitate those changes, because, you know, you hit over one domino and then you have to kind of set things up like much differently compared to what Kishimoto might have originally had. So yeah, I could probably see this going until maybe 2030, who knows. And either that or 2 Blue Vortex ends and then like there's a 3rd Boruto manga, which would be kind of funny. Who knows, who knows. because honestly, I wasn't expecting for, even though I was expecting the time skip, I wasn't really expecting like them to kind of like split Boruto Naruto Next Generations and then like rebrand and start like an entirely new manga, so to speak, you know. So that's the thing. Hey Millennium, what's up? Welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to the stream. So that's the thing. But so I mean, video game, anime, manga. The next thing I want to, I'm kind of predicting when it comes on to the future of the franchise, because I think it's inevitable, right? And I think somebody in management, somebody at Shueisha, somebody must be viewing stuff online and must have seen at some point like, yo, we need like a prequel series. Yeah, I don't see why not. Like, if the Minato manga is any indication, if the wide if the wide lure of, I'm getting tongue twisted here. If the vast array of characters is anything to go by, there's so many stories that can be told in the Naruto universe, essentially. So I would not be surprised if at some point they're like, oh yo, we'll be doing like a legacy series, like a prequel series or something like that. And it could tie back into what I was saying at the start, where, you know, as time goes by, I don't think Kishimoto will be as hands-on anymore. I mean, it's already happening, essentially, to a degree. But who knows, maybe the studio could just take it upon themselves and say, oh, we're doing a legacy story, legacy series. Kishimoto, we just need 1 and 2 inputs from you, but this is mostly going to be like a Pero project, maybe, just maybe. Naruto, Boruto, no, stop it. Stop it. Hey, Dara Shikage, wagwan. Yeah, like, I can definitely see them doing like a prequel series and thing. And I'd be down for it. I just hope like they don't mess up anything. Like, you know, let's double check the Naruto manga and make sure, like, you know, oh, we had all these mentions of the first Hokage doing this, and this, and we just kind of build on that. Or, you know, the Gold and Silver brothers are XYZ, you know, show all those moments. Because no matter how you slice and dice, it's similar to Dragon Ball right now, which, even though there's this whole, you know, dispute about the rights of Dragon Ball right now, that aside, the modern Dragon Ball isn't going anywhere anytime soon, and I definitely see it being the case for Naruto as well. I don't think Naruto as a franchise is going anywhere, anytime soon. They might take a break. I mean, I guess this right now is one of the lowest points we've ever been in a long while. The fact that we don't have an anime going on right now is like a big thing, I would say. Honestly. So yeah, but other than that, I do see the powers that be, Shueisha, etc, etc. Yeah, I see them milking it, so that is the thing. So when it comes on to the future, probably a prequel series is going to be the way to go for the most part. So definitely can see that happening. Now, outside of that, I mean, outside like the video game, anime, maybe that prequel series, like a movie, because it's so, maybe because we're not in that whole era where because in the era when I started watching like Naruto and Bleach, I'm used to like every year like, yo, new Naruto movie, etc, etc, you know. Probably that's what's messing me up. But I think it would be nice to get like a actual Boruto movie. I've talked about this before, because the Boruto movie, so to speak, wasn't a Boruto movie, it was Boruto Naruto the movie. So it'd be interesting to get like a Boruto movie. Who knows, maybe 2028. I'm just saying, who knows. So I think that would be cool. Maybe have it being like between, it could be like a filler movie, whichever. Could be based between, you know, part 1 Boruto and part 2, who knows. probably use that to, you know, before adapting to Blue Vortex, you know, you drop that, give the animation, give the studio, the team enough time to, you know, well, more time to work on 2 Blue Vortex before it drops. Like, you know, like maybe you come back and with the Boruto anime, maybe you do 16 episodes, like with pre-production being like a solid amount of time, and pre-production, production, all of that. Drop 16 episodes, and then, you know, you drop a trailer for like a movie, drop it like the following year, you give 2 Blue Vortex more time to build up, and then now you drop the movie, and then like 6 months after, then you can do like, you know, 2 Blue Vortex the anime. A movie about Hashirama, that would be wild. That would be kind of like in the same vein as like person saying like with One Piece they should do like a Goldie Roger movie or so. But because yeah, seeing on Hashirama, that would be nice. Personally, I wouldn't mind, but I don't think they would do that in terms of having it be Hashirama. I could see them doing like an OVA on Hashirama. I mean, because we had a decent amount of Hashirama flashbacks in the main story. So I don't know if they would do that, or at the very, if not like an OVA, similar to how Kishimoto did the whole Minato, you know, one-shot manga based on the, you know, the top Naruto top 99. I could see them doing like a few chapters here or there when it comes on to Hashirama, and then we can adapt that to like an anime or OVA or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'm seeing more like that. And speaking of the Naruto top 99, I've said before and I said it again, I think that should be like a yearly thing. And instead of like a one shot, I think the winner should get like not like an entire volume's worth of chapters, because that would be like 10 chapters, but maybe like 3 chapters, right, of events in their lives. I've said before, like, they have the means to do qualitative Naruto content and not not blatant milk. I mean, it's still milking, but it's not the blatant quantitative, oh, let me just get this out the door type of milking. They have the means to do qualitative, because imagine there's so many Naruto characters, right? And the Naruto top 99 is just proof of this, where like any one of those characters that could have won would have gotten like a one shot of, you know, events in their lives that we didn't see in the Naruto main story, which is what we got with the Minato one. And you can adapt those to like endless OVA. Endless, honestly. Maybe you can, you know, speak with Kishimoto. Was there stuff in the chapter you didn't get to include, so we can kind of, you know, feel like an anime or OVA adaptation of like that one shot or 3 chapters. You know, I think that would actually work. And I mean, to be honest, that would kind of double as the kind of like the prequel. Wouldn't be like a prequel series, but it would be kind of like, oh, if you put all these OVA or anime adaptations of these one shots together, we can like, oh, kind of like a legacy series, you know, package that on a Blu-ray, ship that out. Why not? I don't see why not. So I'm just saying, because right now I've been comparing modern Dragon Ball versus modern Naruto, and the way that I think the way they've been doing like modern Naruto has been more qualitative than how they've been doing modern Dragon Ball. I mean, modern Dragon Ball is hype. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, anybody who's like listened to a critique video on Dragon Ball Super, I mean, that says it all, right? I'm not saying Boruto is perfect. It has its issues as well, definitely. But I think the way that they have things set up and the potential that's there right now, they can definitely like keep the franchise going in a more qualitative way right now compared to how Dragon Ball Super is set up. And that's what I kind of hope that what they do for the future of the franchise, really and truly. Really and truly. So yeah, so outside of all of that, it's just really time and patience, because again, 2 Blue Vortex is going on, and chill with that. Studio can't wait till Bleach is done. if they approach like the new Boruto anime, or you know, continuing it, but more so in a seasonal, even better. A movie would be nice. Tie that in and have like a game coming to kind of cross, you know, promotes the anime and the manga. And kind of space out the releases of those. Have 2 Blue Vortex kind of build up and just do it seasonally. I don't think you can fail. And of course, again, you can continue the Naruto Top 99. Have Kishimoto come in. No, because of course he's still working on Boruto with Ikimoto, so not too stressful. Have the man do like 1, 2, 3 chapters, adapt those to OVAs. Have a wealth of like qualitative, you know, Naruto releases that the fans, like legitimate Naruto fans, want, because I mean, I wish it was different, but the reality is that not all Naruto fans, like all Boruto fans are Naruto fans, but not all Naruto fans are Boruto fans, you know. So that's the reality of it. Yeah, but I think DB respects Ryan better and it's more effort. Oh, okay, that's interesting, Millennium. I'd want to hear what you your reasoning behind that, because I think maybe from like a marketing standpoint and having a bunch of different stakeholders and stuff, and just, you know, riding the hype and getting the content out there. Yeah, Dragon Ball I think is doing things better in that sense, but other than that, I think qualitatively in terms of like probably like the story writing, I think Naruto, modern Naruto is doing it better, because based on the setup, right? I mean, if we're comparing apples to apples with, you know, both authors were kind of doing like almost a hands-off type of approach, with, you know, Akira Toriyama doing like basically like bullet points, and then of course you have this Dragon Ball Super anime adapting their interpretation of that, and, you know, Toyotaro interpreting and doing his interpretation of that with the manga, and, you know, that leading to, you know, 2 separate continuities, and, you know, the different different narrative approaches, which can each be critiqued very harshly in their own way. Like, you can critique either the anime or the manga very harshly based on narrative choices. So there's that. But I think with Kishimoto, he's hands off, but not as hands off, because he would have written like a complete draft, which I don't think is what Toriyama did. And of course, he's working with the person Ikimoto, who, you know, they're talking it out, discussing it, and making changes that they're agreeing on, you know, from the draft. So it feels like more work was put into like crafting the story compared to Dragon Ball, where it feels kind of just a lot of things just don't make sense. It's super, like, as I said, it's hype, but it's kind of like once you get past the surface, once you get past the superficial hype, it's like you might have a problem with every arc. Because I mean, think about it, even back in 2015 when Resurrection F like dropped, and then 3 months later, even though I was hyped at the time, like, yo, new Dragon Ball series, like 3 months later it's like, oh, we're gonna drop Dragon Ball Super the anime. So, you know, I think they could have given like modern Dragon Ball more time to cook. I think that's what that's what it is. That's a basic that's what I'm basically saying in a nutshell. Because I mean, if Dragon Ball Super came out, like, say, if they gave it like another year, I don't think nobody would have complained. But it seems to me, because of maybe contractual agreements and stakeholders saying, hey, we need a new Dragon Ball series, we will get this out the door. So I think that's the thing. Granted, as I said, Naruto as a franchise hasn't had a break, honestly, because again, in the Naruto 2014, the last Naruto the movie, Boruto Naruto the movie, and then the Boruto manga in 2016. So, but again, I think it comes down to the fact that Kishimoto would have written a draft. He would have written a draft before anything else. So, yeah. To me, it just seems like things flow and are just structured better than modern Dragon Ball, right? That's what I'm saying. But again, yeah, once you join the Discord. Oh my lord. I wonder if they do a season 2 for Storm Connection. Who would be the next set of characters? That would be interesting. Uh, 25th anniversary. I wonder if they'll put out anything else for the 25th anniversary, like after the fact. No, they didn't bring back Mecha Naruto. They did not bring back Mecha Naruto at all, fam. That. I mean, Mecha Naruto was like, it was fun to use him. Do they even want money? Good question. That's what I'm saying. There's so much there they can really use to make money, but not have it be a blatant milking. But I think at this point it's just time. We just need to give things time, honestly. It's a very slow and dull period right now. Because again, even though two blue vortex is going really good in my book, but it's really and truly the only thing. Unless they want between it and Storm Connections, but that's pretty much it, dog. Nothing more than that. But I think give it time. It's kind of like, you know, like how Bleach was like off the ear, and right now Bleach fans are eating good. Because yeah, 1000 Year Blood War anime, of course, as it's like compulsory, it's mandatory for me to mention the Hell Arc manga for Bleach. I mean, they have that to look forward to as well. Who knows, maybe Kubo will continue that after Core 4 for the 1000 Year Blood War anime. Who knows, or maybe after Core 3 you'll finally drop Chapter 2. Because after that you can do that, and then they could adapt that, or they could adapt the novels for Bleach into the anime after Core 4. So like Bleach right now is doing real good. And you know, thinking about it, I'm kind of wondering, even though I doubt this would happen right now, but it would be interesting if like another similar to like how, you know, Studio Wit is like redoing the One Piece. They're doing their version of the One Piece anime, like a different One Piece anime adaptation. It'd be interesting if another studio got Naruto or something. If it's even to continue, like say like, I don't know, somehow Pero like lost the rights and some other studio like, oh, we will continue where you picked up, or even like redid everything. That would be very interesting. I know that sounds wild, but listen, if One Piece anime wise is getting a second anime adaptations from the start of the story, anything is possible. Anything is possible right now in my book. So I think that would be interesting as well. Very interesting. Kind of adjust this a bit. Okay. Doop. Turn on this. I bet I might keep this up in OBS, but turn down this here. So okay, so let's go through the 20 minutes again. I don't know if any of you guys have like read the manga from like the start, like what are like the nuances that you guys like realize? Because I tend to hear persons like one thing a person will say is that the manga gives the representation of something as correct in part one. At least. And you know, this is interesting because I think I mentioned it already. Like I'm currently rewatching Naruto, skipping the fillers, but it's so interesting, dog. Like the story is really good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there are a lot of points where I still think Kishimoto could have done better. My personal opinion. Of course, I'm not a writer, but you know. It comes down to the fact that I always say that Naruto as a story, like part 2 didn't have to necessarily end. I know it's very symbolic ending it on 700 chapters, but like it didn't have to end. Like I think some mini arcs could have been done in part 2 with like some of the other Jinchuriki, or probably not all of them, maybe like even 2 more, like outside of filler, like actual canonical chapters. Even again, the big issue of the side characters being pushed to one side for, you know, Naruto, Sasuke, Uchihas. But I like, for example, it would have been interesting to have like definitely something more with Lee. Maybe like a Naruto Lee Gaara like mini team up or something to kind of continue on the arc of, you know, acknowledging that Lee has become like a ninja, like a awesome ninja despite that his disabilities, so to speak, from part 1. Probably Gaara as the Kazekage acknowledging Lee in front of some other persons and stuff like that. Just little tidbits here, you know, showcase some of the other characters. It doesn't have to be like an arc that lasts like an entire year, for example, because I mean, I'm watching through the anime now and I'm thinking back even just from the original time I watched the anime and when I was reading the manga, and of course some of these arcs are like definitely like over like a year or so. So yeah, Millennium, well going.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah man, I can hear you.
Hey, how you doing?
Not too bad, man, you know, just chilling.
Yeah, long time no chat, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was running a bit late, but I'm here now. And yeah, so what would you like to talk about?
Well man, I mean, the first thing I would say, how do you feel about it being 25 years of Naruto?
It's actually, that's actually crazy. You know, lives were lived and born during that passage of time. It's just crazy when you think about it, because it doesn't really feel like 25 years, but it has been, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It just reinforces that we're getting old, if nothing else.
Yeah, I know. But I think that's the beauty of it, you know, how like that. And I know you're talking about Dragon Ball, like how Naruto and Dragon Ball were made decades prior, and it still has a big relevance even in today's world and culture.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, there's something for everyone. Essentially, like generations have grown up and made their own attachments and bonds to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. Once you get past all that gloomy stuff about, you know, being an old person, but yeah,
young at heart, the power of youth.
yes.
Ah boy, but I mean, a part of it definitely is, you know, You know, these franchises have grown to such a point, such a degree, to such a level that so many different stakeholders are like have their hands in the pot that it kind of prevents it from dying, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's an interesting point you bring up there. Like with Dragon Ball, like it had a pretty big presence from when it first premiered and everything. And I know that before Super came out, like there was a good like what 5, 10, almost 15 years where it was a drought basically, where it was still very popular, and but you weren't getting any new content of Dragon Ball for many years
Yeah, that is
until
definitely true.
yeah.
Unless you want to
And then
really count if you want to count like Dragon Ball Kai as like a beta run for like, you know, getting into modern Dragon
yeah,
Ball.
yeah. I'll go as far as to say that Kai helped jumpstart its prominence back into the mainstream, because it brought up a whole new generation of fans watching it. Because I remember it was like, I feel so old when I say this, but it was like more than a decade ago. I remember I was walking and I heard this kid talking to his mom, and he was like, Dragon Ball's the best anime. And then she was kind of like, you talk about all the time, or something like that, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was a time where Kai was taking off, and everyone was talking about it.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Man, yeah, that's more than 10 years ago. Yeah, and that's the point I was trying to one of the comparisons I was trying to make between Dragon Ball and I guess modern Dragon Ball and modern Naruto is that, you know, it's funny that Dragon Ball kind of had a break while Naruto hasn't had a break really and truly. It's just been continuing since 2014. I don't think we've had like
No.
a dead year. I mean, we don't really have a dead year now, but this is the lowest in terms of like, you know, franchise activity right now, I'd say. But it's still not necessarily on a break, or it's not like a drought per se. So it should be
Oh no.
interesting if we get to a point where, I mean, we're getting drier than this. Like if the two Blue Vortex manga stops for a little while, then I mean that would be interesting.
Yeah. I completely agree. And what you said just reminded me, with Naruto, it didn't really have a break. I'm pretty sure like when Shippuden ended, Boruto, it premiered the very next week,
Yep.
which mirrors Dragon Ball situation. I think it was like what, back in 95, 96, around when GT premiered. When Z ended its run for the first time, there was a promo for the next episode for the first episode of Dragon Ball GT, which I think it was a week or very close. Like they premiered pretty much back to back.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
yeah, Dragon Ball at that time, like Naruto to Boruto, it didn't take a break. And part of why GT ended was because of basically fatigue. And Dragon Ball's popularity was like,
It wasn't
it
the
was
same.
it was definitely going down. Yeah, exactly. Especially during GT, and that hurt the franchise a little bit. Like I think how it hurt Naruto a bit with Boruto premiering so close and fast to the
Hmm.
end of Naruto without giving it time to breathe. There's burnout.
Yeah, definitely.
Like what happened with GT, it happened a bit with Boruto. And I'm not gonna blame the Naruto fans for abandoning the series just for that alone. There's story elements in Boruto that that many Naruto fans didn't like, but also at the same time, you know, they just kept going and going, pumping out content.
Yeah.
It was just like a whiplash.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because it's like I was just saying, like, I'm sure all Boruto fans are Naruto fans, but not all Naruto fans are Boruto fans, you know?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
of course, definitely the manga is one thing, but I definitely think them not taking a break on the anime definitely did hurt hurt a number of like OG Naruto fans like getting into it like that, you know. I
For
mean,
sure.
I guess the benefits, what I was trying to like say that modern Naruto has over like Dragon Ball is that it just feels like even that there's some kind of iffy power scaling here and there in Boruto, you could say, or argue, or debate. It just feels
Mhm.
like things have been, I guess, qualitatively crafted a bit better than Dragon Ball, so to speak. I mean, I have a completely different set of problems with the Boruto anime versus the Dragon Ball Super anime. Honestly, my problems
Yeah,
with the
it's
Boruto anime kind of fall more in the pacing and production side, and when they decide to do it, and how they're adapting, versus with modern Dragon Ball is like the in-story stuff. It's just it's just not making much sense. So I guess that's kind of
yeah,
reflective of the fact that Kishimoto has the entire Boruto story written out, versus with modern Dragon Ball, it's kind of up to the interpretation of Toyotaro versus Toei.
yup. Oh man, the Dragon Ball thing is just a big can of worms, and yeah, yeah, what you said was very interesting because now I think about it, even if it wasn't, they had every detail planned out, but they did have Kishimoto, he did have a guide, or at least a steady mind for where the story could be headed into.
Yeah, he
Where
did.
Dragon Ball, it
Hmm.
was just, where Toriyama, he came in, did Battle Gods. I don't think he expected to do another project after that because he only came back in the first place to help repair Dragon Ball's reputation because of Evolution, the movie
Yeah.
we all love. Yeah, he did Battle Gods, and then he did Resurrection F, and what was I about to say? Yeah, yeah. He did those things, but he didn't really have a solid plan for the future or outline or anything. It was Toei who pretty much pressured him, or not himself, but they really want to continue that on their own or with his help. And they didn't really, it's pretty obvious they didn't really have a set goal in mind. They just wanted to produce Dragon Ball content, and
Yeah.
yeah, and
Cause
that's very apparent. Yeah,
yeah, because based on, I mean, take what I say with a grain of salt, but then based on various videos, various Dragon Ball YouTubers, it seems like the powers that be wanted, like, it seemed like they were contractually like saying, "Hey, we need a Dragon Ball anime by X time." So, and then Toriyama not having like, oh, he didn't really come back for like, oh, I'm gonna plan out all the super one time. I'm just here for just like one project. It's like, oh, we need more. Okay, like fine. So these things can, kind of feel a bit disjointed, I suppose.
yeah, and I think cause it's really yeah, it's just such a can of worms because especially with Boruto and with Naruto slash Boruto and Dragon Ball, they're in the unique position where they both have you know different situations going on with the anime and the manga side of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does play a part into how they're received and how the story's crafted. Like let's go with the anime for now. Super, it was pretty much it was rushed at first into production and
Definitely.
animation, and some of the story beats were rushed and lesser quality because of that. Whereas Boruto, they didn't really it kind of tied in with the manga because they didn't have enough content to go off of. We went to a whole filler um the the filler episodes over a couple years, that really slowed
It's
things down as
crazy.
far as story goes. And I don't know. I just, you're just you can tell that it's with the anime as far as that goes that there wasn't really a concrete plan for the beginning of them for Boruto and for Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Because with Boruto, it was just a whole bunch of stories before present day with chronicling his adventures at the academy. Which which is an interesting premise, but it didn't really feel like they were going anywhere until the Momoshiki arc. And
Yeah,
with Dragon Ball, it doesn't really follow. Dragon Ball's never been, an overarching story or structure type of thing. It was just arc to arc. So Dragon Ball didn't really seem like it was following anything big. There were a few hints and teases
yeah.
of the
I mean, I
tournament powers,
think with
but
Dragon Ball they had enough connection points between the arcs, so I wouldn't say it's that bad.
yeah, it definitely wasn't that bad. Like you could isolate every arc, almost every arc in Dragon Ball, and you still it won't leave you longing for, what's next. Like these questions really need to be answered. You know,
Yeah.
like yeah, that's just how I view it. Um, like what? Yeah, that's basically how I view it. But there are lots of problems in both mediums.
Yeah, definitely. Which is why I'm hoping for the foreseeable future, man. Like, I mean, we've talked about it in more than enough shapes and forms, but anime, manga wise, they have this lull, they have this downtime now. So I'm just hoping that, as I was saying earlier, that they kind of approach it from a seasonal aspect. They have enough content in the Naruto universe to if the stakeholders want to just milk this franchise to Kingdom Come, there's enough content for them to do that, but in a qualitative way, and that's what I'm kind of hoping that we get for the future, in for like a 2026, 2027, like a Naruto resurgence, because they can definitely give two Blue Vortex time to build up, and of course if they take inspiration from the production process of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, then we can do this anime seasonally. We could even drop a movie here and there. Give the production process time to cook, so to speak, for the anime. We can, continue some of that Naruto Top 99. Let's get Kishimoto to do some one-shots or 2 chapters for the winners. Let's do like a prequel series. So there's stuff that we can drop. Oh, that Millennium dropped off there. Oh, and he's back.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no pressure.
I don't know what happened here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but so as I was saying that yeah, and then of course they can start developing on like a new game, like I was discussing earlier, cross promote everything, and I guess at that point modern Naruto would be like at the best it's ever been. At that point, I think they have all the tools necessary to set this up. 2026, 2027, I don't see why they should fail. If they do, I think that's a big L, given the time they have now to not just look at their production process, but just kind of look at the whole anime and manga landscape and see how how other big franchises are performing, how they're doing things, how fans are responding to it. So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. This is something I've been hoping for even before the hiatus was ever announced or was a thing for the Boruto anime,
Yeah.
that it will go into the seasonal route, because a lot of problems it has can be rectified if they just go on a big break and take the time to actually restructure the studios, the contracts, everything you need to make a good product. Um and I think it's the perfect time right now, especially with two Blue Vortex out. You can allow the manga to build up content whilst also restructuring and making sure you just bring a quality product, something they didn't really have when they first launched the anime back in 2016.
2017
So
actually.
2017. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man, because I mean, I was kind of like looking forward to it, but trust me, early Boruto, early Boruto really, really, really like the anime canon content is just. I remember I was reviewing every episode up until a point, and it's like, Bro, I'm tired of I'm tired of reviewing episodes. God, this is like it's going nowhere, bro. Like, you see me?
Yeah,
Oh
that's how
my
I felt.
god. And take it from me. Know that, I don't know if you were hearing what I was saying earlier in terms of me rewatching Naruto, but skipping the fillers, man. Like,
Yeah,
trust me, man. Like, the Boruto anime just can't compare, man. Like, it just like if we're just like skipping the fillers and I'm watching the Naruto story and how things are flowing, and I'm like, yo, yeah,
oh no, for sure. Look,
this.
I'm literally rereading the Naruto manga right now. I'm
Oh,
at the Sasuke retrieval arc, and look, um, this is okay. I'm not gonna say because anything can change, but Naruto is just Naruto. Like Boruto is never going to surpass it, and that's okay. It doesn't have to, as
okay,
long as it's a good story and it's satisfying. That's all that really matters to me.
yeah,
But the types of feelings that Naruto evokes in you, plot chapters, it's just something special. It's like lightning in a bottle that Boruto it hasn't,
yeah.
really captured.
Yeah, I would agree because it's kind of like the same thing I've been thinking when it comes down to like Boruto now in two Blue Vortex, which yeah, he's badass, he's struggling not to solo the verse and all of that jazz and blues, but like it still feels like it's missing something, And like when I
Yeah.
watch Naruto, not that I'm saying Boruto has to be a 1-to-1 with Naruto. It's its own thing, but it just doesn't. I don't know those emotional beats. I'm not getting it. Like even like him quote
Yeah.
unquote losing everything and all. It just, you just feel like, oh yeah, okay, whatever,
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but two Blue
No.
Vortex still good, but it just doesn't have that same oomph that I'm getting like even
Yeah.
rewatching Naruto right now. So it's not even just nostalgia glasses or anything right now. It's I think it's like just objective. Boruto still doesn't
Yeah.
have that
Exactly.
oomph yet. Yeah.
Right. Because if you compare, part one of Boruto to part one of Naruto, I think the difference is pretty much. I will go as far as to say a night and day. Not
Mm,
to say that Boruto part one is bad or anything, but
yeah.
it's not on the same level. I'm not saying it needs to be better, but like I said earlier, just keep me satisfied and feeling like it has a right to exist.
Yeah.
It's not just going on for sake, and it has something to add to offer, and I think it does a pretty solid job at that. I mean, even in the manga,
Yeah.
you know, it this it didn't start off as it was definitely better than the anime, but it didn't really pick up for me until when Kawaki was introduced.
Yes, because funny enough, like when Kawaki was introduced, that's when I started reviewing the manga. I'm like,
Yeah,
yo,
so
finally,
enjoy.
shit.
Exactly. I was just reading some things online, and then I think I saw like a thumbnail or something, and it had Kawaki, and I was like, whoa, they're really he's finally in the manga now.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
checked it out. I think it was like chapter 28 when Kawaki was in the village, and yeah, that's how it just started for me when I jumped into Boruto, and it finally had that thing that was missing from it. I felt like,
Yeah.
and yeah, it actually got me hooked. Reading from month to month at that point, and I've been here since.
Yeah. And
You
I
know,
definitely one of the hooks getting you to read from month to month. It's just a contrast with the anime at that point. Because let me see if I can do some flashbacks here, which is very
Mhm.
appropriate for the Naruto anime. um, so I think that would have been like chapter 24 or 25 when Kawaki came in. So really and truly, that would have been 2018, I believe.
Yeah,
So really and truly, we're just basically starting the Momoshiki arc in the anime. If I have my timelines right.
yeah,
So
it was around that time too. I remember seeing everyone going crazy over the fight. and Kawaki's appearance.
Yeah. So, yeah. But curious, man. I would love to know when it comes down to the future of the franchise, like video game wise, like what kind of Naruto game would you want to see? Because I think like a video game is like a must, bro. And Storm
Yeah,
Connections isn't gonna be connecting forever.
no. I think they need to let go of the Storm type games. Like if we were to do a Boruto game set in the Boruto era, I think something alike Shinobi Striker,
Yeah.
but less
Mhm.
is it a RPG?
Oh, Shinobi
Shinobi
Striker?
Striker?
To be honest,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Shinobi Striker never really appealed to me, so I never got it.
Yeah. Like what I mean by that is to not follow how the game currently is, but I wouldn't even mind a 3D arena fighter, but just something not in the
Storm series.
yeah, just something different with a linear story. Even if it covers events from the anime, something like that.
We were
But I'm not.
we were saying earlier in terms of maybe like a 2D fighter, like Dragon Ball Fighters or so.
Yeah, we desperately need a 2D fighter for Naruto, cause it can definitely work.
Yeah, man,
I
definitely.
remember they had like those I forgot what those games were called, but they were kind of like fighting games, like those old Naruto games.
I know you had like Clash of the Ninja.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up here so on YouTube. Hey, hold on. This we can do this whole Discord watch YouTube together thing, right? Ha,
Yeah.
bad bitches. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay, authorize, I guess. Got it. All right. So, Clash of the Ninja. Yeah, these Clash of the Ninja games were pretty fun too. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see. Was it Clash of Ninja 3? Is that Naruto Shippuden? I just want some gameplay. Wasn't it the same Clash of Ninja where you could also like 4 persons could play? Wasn't that the case as well? Or was it a different Naruto game series?
That sounds familiar, but I don't remember clearly.
Hmm.
It might have been a different Naruto series. Because I feel like there's something else I'm missing, but I can't think of it off the top of my head right now.
Hold on. Ninja Revolution 4. I just really want to get some gameplay or something. That's all.
Yeah.
Hold on. So this is the first time I'm trying this whole watch together thing. How does it? You're actually seeing this in real time.
Oh yeah. I'm actually on the screen right now, and you're not moving anything, are you? Like you're still on the YouTube page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're fine. At least for me. I'm not sure about your actual stream.
No, the stream is good. They're
But I
basically
can
just
see
seeing
it.
the Discord screen right now.
Oh yeah, then we're fine then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe something like, 'cause I'm pretty sure there might be
Yeah.
Naruto fans who have been dying for a continuation of one of these other Naruto game series.
Yeah. Because if that were to come out today, there would be buzz. Because I feel like a lot of the with anime games in general,
Yeah.
unless you're like super innovative or you come from a well-renowned series like how Sparking is,
Yeah.
then the 3D arena fighter genre, it just becomes very old and repetitive very quick. You know,
True.
like see a lot of the forgotten games, like you got My Hero One's Justice, that Demon Slayer game, Curse Clash,
Yeah, it
you
kind of
know,
just blends into one. Like, oh, it's another one of those games.
yeah.
Uh,
But if they were to do something like that with Naruto and Boruto, I think it'll actually be well, but it just has to be innovative.
Based on that
Or at least
Naruto and Sasuke gameplay, like, could you imagine like a modern Naruto
yeah.
game? Yeah.
Yeah, when I was looking, when I was watching, I was like, I was thinking, just imagine if this was like, modern, because
Bruh,
it's very fun.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
but yeah, I think the other day, like last week, I got the new DLC for Storm Connections,
yeah.
the Boroshiki one.
Yo,
Yeah, I was waiting a long time for that one.
I'm not gonna lie.
I
I just ended up watching of course, just a trailer for it, and yo, I like. I don't have Storm connections, but Boroshiki looks very clean.
yeah, he is. I would say, but it's just kind of tiring a little bit because they're not really doing anything new, especially how the story or they this is how it was. I don't really feel anything when it comes to Storm Connection.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect you to, man. Honestly, because like,
Yeah, I mean it's cool, but it's like a shiny new toy you get,
yeah.
but then you put it down. That's how I feel when every DLC comes out. Like it's cool, but I don't really touch it afterwards. The last time I played was when the Kawashiki DLC came in, and
Man,
I don't know.
I still think they could have just done it as DLC, like how they had their whole Road to Boruto expansion. They
Yeah,
could have just done it as an expansion,
right.
man. Like shit, just Storm 4.
Yeah, like they didn't really put too much effort into creating a better experience. They didn't even do Boruto story, but they created some, like canon to only the Storm series type
Yeah.
thing, and yeah, it didn't really feel all that special.
I mean, the 60 frames per second does look pretty clean. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, for sure, of course.
Alright, so even looking at this now, yeah, definitely. This is because me and Sheen, my brethren in the comments there, well in the chat there, we usually play this at the games room, 4 player. Yeah, man, this would be nice. This would be a nice like experience, running it like a modernized version of this. This could
Yeah,
work.
yeah, it definitely can.
Yeah,
It
definitely, definitely.
But Sanjay, Sparking Zero, we got about a week left.
Um, well, that is true. My card has been charged $109. so I see that. I am ready. Yo, bro, listen to me. Let me see. Next week. So next week Tuesday. Shit. I'm gonna have to I wonder how big the game is going to be. What the
I
heck is
heard it
this?
was gonna be
Maybe like a.
around 30 gigabytes.
You think? Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Because if you go into the, like the specs page and all that,
Yeah.
it says like 30 gigabytes available or something like that to download.
All
'Cause there
right.
was a rumor of it being 100 gigabytes, but that's been debunked.
Oh,
Like it's a
okay.
smaller game than one would think, for sure.
All right. That's not bad. Not bad at all then. All right. So next week Tuesday. Jeez, feast, yo. Probably I'll have to see if I can like remote downloads as soon as we come home. Start up the stream. Hey, story mode.
Uh,
Woo, bro.
Seems just like yesterday they dropped that trailer.
Yeah, man, definitely. That full roster trailer was. Even the first reveal trailer that was crazy last year.
Yeah. yeah, it's crazy you bring that up because in the community especially, I didn't think they're going to do GT in the
Really?
movies.
I know a
Yeah,
lot of persons on Twitter were like kind of saying, yo, GT won't be base roster. GT won't be base roster. I'm like, let me just wait and see. Let's see.
yeah. The thing they intentionally held all those out of the trailers and showcases because they were released and all these like super and Z focused stuff, but never a word or mention of GT in the movies. And like the character slots, after every character reveal, we would count it, and you're like, there's no way they're gonna fit everything into it. And then lo and behold, like the latest trailer for the movie, like it ends and it has you think like, oh, that's it. But then there's like a surprise reveal of all the movies, and then they expand the slots. Like it was just a whole thing. But
Oh yeah,
all
yeah,
in all,
true. Because I was not expecting them like to. Because after like in the trailer when they had like, oh, they're showing Z Broly, and it's okay, everything's filled. I was expecting them to fill up the sides, more of the sides too.
yeah,
That's actually pretty cool. Not gonna lie, not going to lie. Oh my god. Man, next week. Yo, and then Bleach this weekend. Oh god. So Bleach.
hey, you seen the have you heard of the new Bleach game?
Yeah, of course. I mean, who hasn't? Definitely plan to get
Yeah.
that for next year. Hey.
Yeah, that's the day one purchase too.
When
Um,
me bust this bank, hi, hey, spamming no.
yo,
Yo, oh my god. Tell
yeah,
it,
I
bro.
can't wait. It's incredible. I know you were talking about it earlier too, about how Bleach it made its resurgence. It's really crazy
Yeah, man,
because
definitely,
Bleach out of
definitely.
the big three, it took the heaviest
Yeah, the
hit.
heaviest
Like it's
hits,
on a
really.
long hiatus. Yeah,
Trust me, cause oh my god, bro, like the manga's ending, not that it was bad, but shit, was it rushed? So I'm hoping,
yeah,
and then for the anime to come back, and kind of similar to like how the anime is going on now, and you're pushing this Bleach game. It's basically the same setup like pushing for the Naruto franchise. I'm saying, yo, when the anime comes back, you can announce a game, start working on a game, cross promote.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're doing a really good job of that.
So that is the thing. That is the thing. Oh my god.
But,
Sparky.
but yeah, I just want to ask you, what's been your thoughts overall on like these last batch of two Blue Vortex chapters?
Um Generally I have pretty good thoughts on them. Um Even though I'm still seeing the whole issue of other characters not really getting the shine they need. I definitely
Yeah.
like the setup right now where it seems they'll be going to the Sand Village, I would hope, and leave Konoha. Because I want, from not even last chapter, I think even the chapter before that, I've been saying I want them. I think it's best that we go past Konoha now. I mean, I'm pretty sure the insurance agents, like, right now, they're tired of this whole rebuilding and thing. But anyway, so right now with things kind of set up for them to leave the village, I think is a good move. You can get to see some other characters, or at least give some of the current characters some time to shine with some different moments. Definitely need a Sarada moment, man. We're like going into chapter 15, and it just feels like, eh, Sarada still kind of
Yeah.
feels like an afterthought to me. So which kind of lends me to
Yeah.
what I was saying in my last two Blue Vortex video, where I was saying if you're comparing apples to apples, like by this point in part 2 of Naruto, Sakura definitely seems more impressive than Sarada, you see me? So because I mean it makes sense, like once you start the time skip, it makes sense to have like showcase your main characters, like their initial set of improvements, so they really like wow the audience I feel. So, but I don't think we've really gotten out with Sarada. I know persons will want to like, you know, take the confrontation with Hidari and extrapolate that and say, oh Sarada dodged him like she's light speed now, and like, it just feels like anybody could have done that. I know it's Hidari, you know, Ten Tails, you know, clone using Sasuke, but I mean, it just didn't seem impressive to me. So I think Sarada still
Yeah.
definitely needs her time to shine. I'm hoping a trip to, you know, the Sand Village will actually allow that. So, but I think they have, as with most two Blue Vortex chapters, I think they have all the right ingredients to, you know, really, you know, put the story together. So as with everything else, it's just time. I don't know how you look at it, man.
Um, yeah, Two Blue Vortex, it started out really strong. And I would say when the Shinju invasion, you know, little mini arc, it, not to say it was bad, but it was kind of losing me a bit
Yeah.
because there were so many things going on, and it was just it was a lot of action, which isn't bad, but you know how like there's a whole lot of everything going on and you just get lost in a little bit.
Yeah.
That's how it was for me reading it month to month. And especially after it started to like slow down is where I really started to, you know, become more invested into it again.
Mm.
Especially with the you know, like little Kashin Koji chapter
Yeah.
after it. That really invigorated something in me that had been missing for a little bit.
Would you do
And
you think it's even though I think the pacing has been good, I think the pacing has been decent. But do you think Two Blue Vortex will continue to be at its best only if, like, if we're always go 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 go? Like, okay, we're going to the Sand Village. Maybe Kashin Koji goes to do that. This character goes to do that. Do you think that should be like a continuous thing?
you see, I think it was the pacing was the best when with the I like to say like the first I guess like the first 6 to 8 chapters
Yeah.
where you get a chapter and then something would happen every chapter that kept the story progressing. And which brings up another point I think will also made me lose a bit of interest was the fact that it's a monthly release
Mm-hmm.
and it's like 4 months of them just fighting in Konoha,
Yeah.
and you don't really get too many switches to like different fights or anything. You know, you have the whole Himawari and the little Sarda stuff in between, and a little bit of Boruto and Kawaki, and oh, what was it, Inashikacho?
Yeah.
But it just felt like it was just going on for just like the whole summer, you know, even before that. And I
Yeah.
think the monthly pacing of it really hurt it for me because like I would have been fine with it in a weekly format, but I think most of it boils down to just like the monthly thing and then just fighting for months and nothing really significant happening storytelling wise. And that's why
Mm.
I said like when the chapter dropped with Koji and his I don't know how you pronounce it, prescience or prescience
Prescience. Yeah.
prescience.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that, we get lore drops in that chapter, and it just really brought my interest back into the series. You know, like I'm actually like paying attention again.
Yeah, I definitely get you on that, man. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this till Die Kingdom Come. The monthly release schedule is it's hectic, bro. Cause a lot of times when the chapter drops and then I'm reading, I'm going through, I'm reacting, and it's like, oh shit, the chapter done.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it feels like, yo, shit, things just get started and then it just done. So I definitely get you on that. To be honest, I don't know. I know we'd want it to be at least bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, but I don't know if like I don't know if the creation process of going back to Kishimoto's OG Boruto draft, and then maybe them discussing like if they're gonna make any changes, and then agreeing on the changes, and then I don't know
Oh,
if that's why it has to be like really monthly, because
oh yeah, for sure. Like the monthly thing is here to stay. You know, we it's just something we're gonna have to deal with. I'm pretty sure Ikimoto, he was like, oh, a weekly schedule can never work with me
yeah,
because
yeah.
he's just not that type of person. You know, he's more precise in planning with his art and storyboarding. Like I'm pretty sure his process was for the average Boruto chapter, it was like 20 days to actually like, do the storyboards and the paneling and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he takes another week to like, fine tune it, do the cover, all that stuff. It's
Well,
just something that works with him, that works
yeah.
better for him
Well, if
in the
that's the
weekly
case, yeah,
format.
I mean the monthly is here to stay. Then definitely not, definitely not changing. And in the grand scheme of things, I mean, I haven't. The only other monthly manga I've taken in is Attack on Titan, and I'm kind of thinking about it now, where we are between part one and part two for Boruto. We are what 94 chapters. Attack on Titan is 139 chapters. So I'm looking at them and I'm saying, will Boruto be as long as Attack on Titan? Or can I use Attack on Titan to say, okay, Boruto is actually nearing its end, even though it doesn't seem like it? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, still, it would still take at least another 4 years, give
Yeah,
or
I think
take,
it's very
but
4 years. Because it was when Kodachi was still on the thing. Yeah, Kodachi mentioned in 2024, crazy.
yeah,
But when he was still on it, he was like, "Oh, I want to end it in 30 volumes." Because
yeah,
Naruto, I think it was like what 72 volumes,
yeah.
and he
So,
wanted to do like a
100
nice
volumes,
little
yeah.
exactly. But that's clearly changed.
I mean,
Now that
yeah, I was kind of saying that earlier too, that it's more like that has changed. I'm thinking as well that like if you even give Boruto 4 more years, like 48 more chapters, right?
yeah, I
Like
think that's a good, because when you think about it, there isn't really a whole bunch you need to really cover for Boruto. You don't for Two Blue Vortex. We don't need it to be a long running series like how Part Two and Naruto was.
yeah, yeah,
Like you
definitely
can
not.
yeah. Like I would say keep it at least a little bit lengthy, like you said. I was thinking the same thing, and like that 4 years, 40 some, 50 some chapters, keeping in that ballpark, and you can tell like you can still tell a rich and compelling story in between those years.
Of course,
Like
I
it
mean,
definitely can.
again, look at Attack on Titan. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Um,
Yeah.
so
Like it doesn't need to be like this long running story to be good or anything like that.
yeah. And then if you even give it 4 more years for say, alright, maybe like Boruto ends in 2029 or something like that. I mean, and if we're starting by the anime, if we start back the anime and we do it the way I'm suggesting in terms of just having it be seasonal or whatever, and just
Uh-huh.
space things out. If the anime starts back in say like 2027, then even better, because if they're doing it seasonally, it wouldn't. They're not gonna really catch up to say, okay, we're gonna have to do filler content per se. So yeah, it would definitely work out that way to me. And then it would be interesting at that point to see how the anime community at large reacts to like a Boruto anime with much more higher like production values going into it.
Yeah.
So there's that. If nothing else, especially with Dragon Ball Diamond coming out next week as well. So I would hope that again, like I was saying earlier, somebody at like some stakeholder where it comes on to Naruto Boruto like sees, oh, look, even the production process, even the way they did Dynamite really worked out. Maybe we should adopt this instead of this weekly anime foolishness.
Yeah,
So
they need to stop with that. It's so old. It's a relic of the past, I feel.
yeah,
Because yeah, like it just has to. I feel like for better quality in general.
yeah, definitely, man. Man, like, what would you want to see from like a legitimate Boruto movie though? Say,
Okay.
I don't know, say they come back with the Boruto anime, they do additional 16 episodes to wrap up the last 12 chapters of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. Say they do those 16 episodes and then they announce like a Boruto movie. Like, what would you want to see from it?
Hmm.
Would you want it to even be
That's
canon or like a standalone filler movie or what?
Hey, look, bring back the days of non-canon movies, okay? Cause
Yo.
well, I mean, I like movies that are canon, but even with examples like My Hero movies, they're in that space of questionable canon,
Mm,
but they still deliver a great experience
I,
too.
I like that phrase. Questionable canon. I'm gonna have to adopt it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like like when it comes to a movie, I don't think it needs to be canon. Like it's more about the experience and the way they want to portray the story in a movie form.
Yeah.
So I would say it doesn't have to be outright canon or non-canon. Like I said with the My Hero movies, like a questionable canon. And as far with Boruto, there's a few avenues you could take away. Like if it's set, after part one, I would still want it to be, you know, still covering the events in between the two parts, but not to where it's like giving away too much for Two Blue Vortex.
Yeah.
So
Because you definitely want that moment when, Boruto comes back down and steps on Code's face to be like, oh shit. Yeah, you can't
yeah,
give away too much of that.
honestly, I would say don't even make it a Boruto focused movie
Mm.
if we're going to the extreme, and that's the extreme end of it. I would like to it be, somewhere close to like right where part one, like, okay, like here's a scenario.
Yeah.
It's shortly after the events of part one
Mm-hmm.
where you see how things are affecting the village and the characters and Kawaki adjusting to his new placement, and maybe you could have some sort of threat pop up, and seeing Kawaki and the others just deal with it, especially if you want to expand it to other villages too.
Yeah.
You get the world's reaction to it and how everyone's coping with it and moving on, while also introducing this new threat. And maybe you can have Boruto and Sasuke play a role where they may come in for a portion and do something like not interacting with the other characters,
Yeah.
but something that just connects them to the antagonist. Like how Sasuke appeared in Naruto the Last for that short moment.
Man, that appears to
Like
like
something short and
20
sweet.
seconds, dog. That's crazy.
Yeah, nothing as short as that, but like an impactful moment, where you still acknowledge Boruto at the end of the day,
Yeah.
but just don't have him play a pivotal role in the movie.
Hmm.
And I say just make it more of an ensemble movie, where you're letting the viewers get to know these characters in a
Yeah.
movie form.
Alright.
And I think you can make a pretty compelling movie, especially if you're dealing with the aftermath of the events, like how Kawaki's adjusting to it, like how his relationship with Himawari's going, um how the villagers are treating him, like how he feels about it,
Yeah.
and also, you know, just kind of like an in-between movie,
The
I
on,
guess,
the
just
on,
setting up.
the only thing I think with doing a movie like that, I think like a Two Blue Vortex anime adaptation would have to come sooner than later. As a tie-in.
That's
Um,
true.
yeah, because like it's like you'd want Boruto to be like there in the movie, like having center stage, but If you're gonna do it, I think it'll be best if it's a filler movie, a very much
Yeah,
standalone. Yeah, because yeah, I think it's gonna be hard for like the first Boruto movie to like not really have a lot of Boruto, you know. But at the
yeah.
same
I was
time, you don't
thinking
really
that
want to
too.
spoil too much of Two Blue Vortex. But yeah, go ahead, sir.
No, yeah. Like I said before, like if you're gonna do the extreme,
Yeah.
just make it no questions asked, a continuation of part one. But like you said, a filler movie where I think it should be set after the code arc, but obviously before the omnipotence arc. And you
Mm.
could just have a good story with um Kawaki and Boruto. Especially you want to hone in on their relationship.
Yeah.
That also preps you for the big twist and also lets the bigger audience, especially ones that haven't tuned into Boruto like the rest of us,
Yeah.
and really expand on their dynamics so they have a sense of who they are and their roles. Like I'm not even saying the enemy has to be an Osasuke. You can make it any enemy basically. But yeah, just have it set after the code arc. Um and I would say like include Ada and Damon like after they arrive in Konoha and had them deal with some sort of threat. I'm not sure what or how, but
Or
just work that.
we could make it a gag in the movie that throughout the entire movie we just have Ada. While everything is going down, Ada's just trying on new clothes, like shopping in Konoha. Boom, $1 billion, easy.
Exactly. They gotta tap into that part of the fan base too.
Exactly, and especially since Ikimoto, he's. I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, he did say in the interview, like clothes and fashion and those stuff is kind of like one of the things he's trying to push with Boruto. So I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Yo.
Yeah, like just make it a character driven movie first and foremost.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, I think one of the other things I wanted to talk to you about, when it comes down to the future of the franchise, like, apart from like the OG Naruto episodes that we're supposed to get to, like,
Oh yeah.
more so on the anime and manga side for Boruto, like, Naruto and Sasuke coming back at some point, and like, what kind of not even just like their role in the conflict, whatever conflicts happening at the time, but what kind of character arcs do you see them having if
Oh
well
boy.
when they come back?
Yeah, I have some thoughts about that because I was thinking of ways to end two blue vortex, and I'm the type of person where you know I like tragic endings,
Yeah.
so give those to me. But if we're being real, unless Kishimoto and Ikimoto want to take that step into having a bittersweet ending, it's most likely going to end with omnipotence being reversed. But with me,
Yeah.
it has. I think Two Blue Vortex is heading for a very bittersweet ending, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a few ideas of where it can go. But okay, to get the most extreme one out the way, is scenario A where omnipotence doesn't get reversed, and you know the world they they have their memories altered, but like has which has been something of a theme in Tubu Vortex where your past connections may have been altered and changed, but you can forge new ones, you
Hmm.
know, and have Boruto, regain Konoha's trust, especially if it's gonna be revealed that well, it's already been revealed that Boruto he didn't, in place Kawaki kill Naruto and Hinata, they're still alive. And once they see that, let's say Naruto gets out, omnipotence is still a thing, but they've gone to the point where Boruto he's proven himself a good ally, and they start to see that in him and they start to trust him again. And I think a lot of it comes from the fact that he supposedly killed the Hokage,
Yeah.
but if he saved all that, it'll be more easier to accept him and to create new memories going forward. Just have the story end up with that as the bittersweet note. Like the damage from omnipotence has been done and it's still there, but with the hopefulness of creating a new path going forward. And I think that's a way to do a more tragic ending, but not really, too hard hitting or too permanent.
Okay.
And if we're gonna go a less drastic way, reverse omnipotence, but still have some sort of fallout from the events. Because I don't think omnipotence is something that could just like, be glossed over either way, whether they reverse it or not.
Yeah,
And
definitely
I don't
not.
know the specifics of like I don't know these specifics of how they're gonna deal with it, but I just want there to be a lasting consequence to it
Yeah.
that affects our characters. Yeah.
Hmm. I guess it would be interesting to see how Naruto, operates in a. I mean, if he's even affected by omnipotence, that
Yeah,
is.
yeah, that's the that's like the big question is if because they're in a timeless void right now. Because you know what, omnipotence, I thought about it. I'm um, you know, like right when it's casted, right? That casting point.
Yeah.
Um, are you affected at that casting point, or are you affected? Like, okay, so there's a casting point, right?
Yeah.
And then like, what if you're not okay? This is really
Take your time, man. No pressure.
Yeah, like Naruto and Hinata's is a very, you know, it's a very um it's a special situation because they're in a timeless void and the omnipotence has already been casted. So, let's say they enter out of it, will they still be under the effects or will they be unaffected because they weren't affected at the original casting of it? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. I mean,
Or is it just
I could
Oh, I'm sorry.
probably,
Or
I could probably nuance something up because I mean, Code was affected and he was in a different dimension at the time. Um,
yeah.
but unless they're gonna play on the whole, all chakras connected, so even if they're not affected initially, maybe like I don't know, chakra from other persons kind of rewrites your brain once you come back into real time. I don't know, maybe some foolishness like that. Who knows?
Yeah,
um,
because yeah, because you see it even with Sasuke before he was put into the tree where at that point omnipotence was still affecting him, but then he came around to Boruto because he was like, I see what Sarada meant. He started to trust Boruto again and see some of Naruto in him. Like he knew he was a good person, and instead used his time together with Boruto to sort of like create a new relationship and go based off of that than what's been conceived in his mind,
yeah, yeah,
which
true.
can also but then like it's hard with Naruto because that's his son, that's Boruto's father, and
Boruto's dad.
yeah, Boruto's dad. um
Oh my
yeah,
god.
it just hurts, like potentially him and Hinata not recognizing Boruto.
Yeah,
And
true.
then you just had to deal with that in the story, or if Naruto's somehow immune to it, you also have to deal with that. And how the rest of the cast will deal with that. It's a big bag of worms.
True. But I
That
think that's more, I wouldn't say short term or medium. That's still long term in terms of Naruto and Sasuke's characters. But maybe I should I guess this still depends on how Two Blue Vortex ends. But I was kind of thinking about the bigger picture in terms of the franchise. Like, how would what how should I put this? What can we expect from Naruto and Sasuke's final story arc within the Naruto, the overarching Naruto franchise? Like, you know?
right.
Yeah, I was thinking more
Um.
along the lines of that. Like,
Okay.
do we see have them? die at some point. I mean, Goku has died, but of course he's come back, and I don't think we're getting rid of Goku anytime soon. Um, but
No, I don't. I don't think either of them need to die. Um, like let's just start with Naruto. I don't think Naruto dying would really benefit the story
yeah,
in a way. You know, I don't think his death really is really warranted in the story. Um, I just think, yeah, there's a reason why they didn't kill him and just put him into suspension. Cause I don't his death. I don't really. I can't really figure a situation where his death is really important to pushing the story forward. Um, and as long and with Sasuke, I actually do think you could have a little bit more leeway with him because, like, if he were to, because they kind of like did it in a way with his sacrifice, quote unquote, where he's not dead, but you easily could have written it off as a death for him, and I think it's very cathartic and it would be satisfying to the character of Sasuke because most of his life he's been pushed by revenge and vengeance, and how he goes out is protecting what's most dear to him, his family, and doing it for Sarada and also Boruto, and having him atone for his sins in that sort of way, like redemption and death.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, so I think Sasuke dying is more would work better than Naruto dying, or just have them both die.
yeah,
Or I
yeah.
can see it work with Sasuke. I don't really seeing it work with Naruto as
As
much.
much. Yeah, because to be honest, I honestly believe that in Kishimoto's original draft, probably Sasuke died, and they.
Was the one who
Yeah,
died?
yeah. I just think maybe
Yeah.
Ikimoto said like, "Dog, like, me know say want to make this dark, but no, we can't kill Sasuke. Let's come to some
Yeah.
kind of middle ground or something." That's
It's
alright,
true.
cool. But I think it would be interesting because I know a lot of persons the easy go to with Sasuke is like future like character arcs, like superficial stuff or even deep stuff. Like the easy go to is like, oh, Sarada needs to get his eye or something like that for EMS. Um,
Yeah.
maybe it could be interesting if Sasuke does eventually die and how Naruto would handle that in the sense that so many years ago I went through so much to save you, and then in the grand scheme of things I still couldn't really save you in the grand scheme of things, if you know what I mean. It would be interesting to see how Naruto handles that in terms of his character arc. um but I just think even if it's going to be a case where Naruto and Sasuke are going to be they say they don't die at all, right? And it's going to be just forever ongoing thing, like how we have Goku and Vegeta. I just hope we have some interesting character arcs when it comes on to their characters. I mean, like scattered throughout the Boruto manga and the anime, there have been some interesting moments. I think in terms of being parents that I liked, especially I remember like in early Boruto anime, like there was this episode like I think it was like episode 8 or 9, and Boruto was like, and Naruto was like, if he's not sure if he's doing a good job as a dad, etc., etc. It's interesting to see him in those type of positions, but I want some carefully crafted, character arcs for these characters. Like again, they don't have to be long arcs or anything. Just build on them.
Yeah. Especially with Naruto. I think it would be good to build on them with Naruto.
Yeah,
Especially because, having him confront challenges, and it's done that to an extent in the Boruto series where, Naruto, it's in a new age. It's no longer the classic shinobi system.
yeah,
Times are changing, and he has to. There has to come a point where you have to make certain sacrifices and be more morally gray, especially in the position of the Hokage, because a role like that, it comes with its perks and its cons, and
Yeah.
it's challenged Naruto in some ways where do you put your family first or the village, and it led to some conflict with Boruto dying. The when he got stabbed by Kawaki, and not even just with that, but in other world problems too, where you see the sorts of pressures and nuances that comes with making choices as the Hokage.
Yeah,
And
true.
they've covered a number of that, in some of the episodes and the light novels. But as far as like the main series sort of thing, I feel like you could put Naruto in the back seat and have him, lead the newer generation, not just having in the background acknowledging him from time to time, but to actually, you know, side by side with them, guiding them in a more leadership role, because I don't really feel that with adult Naruto sometimes, if I'm
Mm.
being completely honest,
Yeah, that's fair
you know.
enough. That's fair enough, man. My God.
Like I want to see the fruits of his labor, like
Yeah,
him actually indulging in the role of Hokage and
true.
leading the next generation.
Not just paperwork, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Or not just like giving some speech like, do your best, blah blah blah. Like, I want to see him, deal with things more or be more involved.
Yeah, definitely. And there's more than enough room for that, I believe. Once, if, well, nothing if, but once he does get out. But, of course, that's going to be a while. Definitely be a while.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so, yeah. But, it would be interesting if even the confrontation between Boruto and Kawaki is closer to the end of Two Blue Vortex, and then we have like another Boruto manga. That would be wild though, but
Naruto. Saruto.
no. I don't know. Something where Boruto and Naruto get like equal screen time to flex and all of that jazz and blues. So
Yeah. Like especially set after the events of Two Blue Vortex, where for Naruto, it's just been an instant, but for Boruto, it's just been years, and them not rekindling their relationship, but adapting to the new relationship.
yeah.
Because, Naruto, when he eventually gets out, it's gonna be a big pill for him to digest. And you know what? That actually brings up how you could further Naruto's story. It's just really him adapting to everything that's
Mm,
changed and, finding his place and, you know, reforging his bonds and his connections to everyone. And I think that's really interesting,
true.
for sure.
Hey, OG Brosif, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. You know, we'll basically be ending soon because I got work in the morning.
Well,
uh, Shin here saying do something like a Hokage level mission. You know, that's true because, well, apart from, I mean, we've seen Naruto out of office on the, in the gutters a few times, but yeah, I mean, not we've had Hokages in the past do like Hokage level missions. Of course, we have the second had that mission with the Gold and Silver Brothers. Those 20 ninja that quote unquote killed him. The third had that mission when he cornered Orochimaru. Yeah. But I mean, Naruto's had some quite a bit of on hand on the field. Because I mean, if you're taking the anime into consideration, he had that whole incident with Sumera and he was on the field even though he didn't really do much. um of course, yeah, the Shin Uchiha stuff. Of course, any
yeah,
most of the stuff with Kara and Ishiki and Jigen and all that jazz and blues. But yeah, something. But I mean, I kind of like how you put it, Millennium, in terms of like a third Boruto series with Boruto and Naruto kind of equally, screen time and Naruto kind of adjusting back, to things essentially. But yeah, we'll just have to see how they set up the end of Two Blue Vortex. But I definitely would love the future of this franchise to have like a balance between Naruto and Boruto. and just make more use of Naruto's character, because I think there can be some interesting character arcs they can do for the future of the franchise with Naruto, because I don't see them killing him. They might kill Sasuke, but I don't see them
Yeah.
killing Naruto for the foreseeable future of the Naruto franchise, honestly.
Yeah. Now, in the amount of discourse and the fan reaction, I don't think it's really worth it to do it.
True, true. It was a wild time back when we thought Baron Mo would have killed him too. That was
Yeah, that chapter cliffhanger with
yo,
Sasuke looking over at him.
it's
I
crazy,
remember those
bro.
times.
It's crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
But
But turned out to be Kurama, who's not really dead. But
yeah,
yeah.
I can't wait to learn more about that. In terms of Himawari and Kurama and thing. I still think, like most other persons, I believe that maybe Shibai might be just moving some chess pieces in the background, maybe. But then
He
again,
might be.
I mean, he might, but then again, it's like, why? Like it would make sense
Yeah,
for him to,
exactly.
but why?
No, I'm telling you, he's Amato.
Oh, you think? Oh, interesting.
Or at least has a connection too. Because Amato, he's been the driving force for pretty much the entire series. Like a lot of almost every, course of events can be linked back to Amato.
You know
And I
what?
think yeah.
When I okay, an idea just came to me. I'm wrapping up here, but we
Yeah.
have this whole theme of technology and traditional ways of doing things versus technological advancements and the new ways of doing things that come with that, right? But
Right.
what if we introduce? Yeah, I mean they may have done this already in some shape or form, but what if we introduce the whole idea of like religion, or like kind of like Christian motifs in a sea of technology, right? Like like
Hmm.
Shibayo is the god figure. Amato is kind of like the Jesus figure, quote unquote, like God incarnated on Earth, essentially, or something like that. If we're gonna say like Amato is Shibai, or something kind of parallels that kind of Christian Bible thing, but in this whole era of technology, like us in the real world now, where everybody's kind of like distracted, and of course, you have a lot of persons who are Christians, religion, all of that, but a lot of persons are distracted with technology. What if we kind of try to establish that kind of thematic parallel with Shibai and Amado, but in this era of technology and all of that? Something I assume you know how I'm trying to structure this. What I'm trying to say
Yeah.
here.
I like the model being like some sort of false god, but
Yeah, yeah.
playing with his machinations and all that. Yeah, exactly. Like trying to play God. It's like I think you're on to something. Like I know we're ending right now, but just one last thing.
Yeah, man.
Um, with him trying to revive his daughter back by any means necessary, or like just by any means, he's holding on to what is essentially trying to bring her soul back.
Yeah.
And that could tie into, the religious, like undertones and
Yeah.
parallels, bringing her back, bringing a soul back through science. Like, is that even possible? And, like the ways they can go with that.
Exactly.
'Cause,
So yeah, I think we're onto something.
yeah, for sure.
Sure. Well, anyway, the way I see it, the future of the Naruto franchise, they have all they need to make it really good. So if they do, if it does end up being great, I mean, at this point, all we gotta do is just wait, really and truly. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. So respect for coming out as usual, Millennium. Um,
Yeah,
it
of
was a
course.
decent stream. Really enjoyed it. 25 years of Naruto, crazy.
Yeah. And to 25 more with Saruto and, Waruto,
It's gonna be
Karuto,
crazy,
everything.
bro. Yo. But all right, man. I'm gonna just wrap up the stream. So respect, definitely. We'll definitely catch up.
Yeah, for sure. Nice conversation. I appreciate it. Hope you get a good night's rest, and just continue on to the new day.
All right, man. You too. Much respect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
All right. Bye bye.
Alright. So, people, that's all I have for this stream. That's a bad one. Thanks for coming out. Again, 25 years of Naruto. Um, but I think we have a lot of fruitful years to look forward to in the grand scheme of things. We just gotta wait. 2026, 2027. I'm kind of predicting that those years will be the years that the franchise kind of really kicks up and gets its second win after the amazing highlights of these last 25 years in the grand scheme. I mean, we had some awesome moments over these last 25 years with the manga, the anime, products, the people you've met, the bonds and friendships that you've kind of established through, all of us kind of watching Naruto, the grand scheme of things. Of course, that can be, associated with anime and manga in general, common interests. But yeah, man, looking forward to another 25 years. Hopefully, God's willing, I live at least another 25 years, at least, hopefully. But yeah. Anyway, work tomorrow, so you know how it goes. Sanjae Uchiha, respect for coming out. Leave a like, share the stream. Looking forward to Bleach Daima, Sparking Zero. October is looking like it's gonna be crazy, so what can I say? Look forward to it. Anyway, guys, respect, and we'll talk.